Suffering is always seeking. Seeking is suffering. Like a very simple example. Say you experience fear. So fear appears. Fear appears. Fear, anger, sadness, anything. It could be anything. But let's just say fear. So fear appears. It's just it's just energy in the body. There's something very natural about fear. Fear, anger, sadness, whatever. It's just it's life appearing. It's just energy. It's life appearing. What happens though is thought, the mind, because it's so dualistic. What it does, it takes fear and then it creates its opposite, which is no fear. Okay, so now you have fear, and you have the idea of no fear. Now now of course what happens is that you try to move from one to the other. You don't want fear, you want no fear. And this is seeking, so that a seeker is born, the one who is afraid and the one who one day will not be afraid, or the one who experiences fear, the one who one day will experience no fear. So now you kind of have two things. You have fear and no fear. I mean, the point is though that this no fear, this absence of fear, is an abstraction. It's an idea. You never experience. Like fear has no opposite, anger has no opposite, sadness has no opposite. Nothing that appears has an opposite. Thought comes in and creates an opposite because it's dualistic. It has to create an opposite. So it takes fear, anger, whatever, like energy. Energy has no opposite. You can't say there's an opposite of energy. So it creates the opposite of fear, no fear. So now you're in time. You see, because in the present appearance of fear, in that energy, there's no time to it because it's not in a story yet. It's not. It's once thought comes in, it creates a beginning and an end. It creates a beginning and an end of fear. The beginning of fear is here. The end of fear is in time. It's no fear. One day, no fear. So what we're doing, we're seeking the absence of fear. We're seeking the absence of what we feel. I mean, in an ultimate sense, we're seeking the absence of seeking. In an ultimate sense, we're seeking the absence of the seeker. So it's like we say, one day, once I get rid of my fear, then I will no longer, or then I'll be complete. Once I get rid of my fear or anger, my pain, my suffering, whatever, or if you're a spiritual seeker, once I get rid of myself or my ego or whatever, once I get rid of X, Y, Z, then I'll be complete. And what we mean when we say, then I'll be complete, is that then I won't be seeking. Then there will no longer be a seeker, you see. There'll no longer be someone looking for anything because there'll just be completeness. So what we're really doing, we're looking for the absence of the seeker. And this isn't just some abstract thing. You can see it right there, like in fear, in anger and sadness, we run away from. I mean, we run away from what we feel. We run away from fear, anger, sadness. Why? Because basically, we are looking for our own absence. Suffering really is a sign that you're totally identified as being someone who is trying to escape something. So it's and although in an ultimate sense that's all oneness as well, it's all oneness, whether there's suffering or not. It's always oneness appearing as suffering. But within the play, suffering is a wonderful. It's a great sign that you're totally caught up in this seeking, and you're trying to escape something. You're seeking something, which is the same thing as saying you're running away from something. It's the same movement, So what are you seeking? You're seeking no fear. You're seeking the absence of fear. Okay, what are you running away from? Fear. They always go together. Like you're seeking enlightenment. It's funny, when you ask people, why are you seeking enlightenment? What do you want? What you discover after a while, if people are really honest, it's not really about enlightenment. It's about, someone might say, oh, well, because once I become enlightened, my physical pain will disappear. I say, right. So it's not really about becoming enlightened. It's about not wanting to experience pain. So you think you're seeking enlightenment. Actually, you're running away from pain. It's the same thing. The same thing. What are you seeking equals what are you running away from. Or someone might say, well, once I become enlightened, I won't. There'll just be abundance. There won't be any lack in my life. So it's not really about enlightenment. It's about you don't want to experience lack. Or why are you looking for enlightenment? Well, I just don't want to suffer. So it's about not suffering. That's what it's really about in the end. It's not suffering. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to suffer. Suffering gets in the way of our plans.